All right, let's talk mortgages. We're going to talk about buying a $150,000 house. We're going to take out a 30-year mortgage, and we're going to pay, ooh, ugly, 10% interest rate. So let's figure out what that would be. If we could make annual payments, which the banks will not let you do, we would simply put in $150,000 as our present value on our calculators, and then we would put in 30 as our N and 10 as our I, and we would compute our payment. And we can go ahead and do that. Let's take a look at that, just seeing how it's done. $150,000. And don't forget, when we're putting in a present value, we need to change its sign to be negative. And so we've got negative 150. And we go up here and we press the present value button. And that's how much we've paid for our house, $150,000. The bank has said that we can pay it over 30 years. So we're going to put in 30, and that will be our N. And they're charging us 10% interest. So we put in 10, and we hit the I/Y key because that's our interest rate per year. And there we have it. So we want to know how much we're going to have to pay each year if they let us do annual payments. And the answer is compute. You hit the compute button and the payment button right here, the PMT button. And it tells us that we would have to pay $15,952 a year. But they don't actually let us do that. They make us pay our mortgages monthly. So let's figure out how we would do that. Well, the first thing you have to do is figure out how many payments you're going to have. Instead of 30, which is the number of years, you're going to have 12 per year times 30. So let's clear everything out that we've got in here, including our register, and start fresh. Okay. So we're going to have 30 years, but, which is a 30, times 12 months per year, and that's going to equal 360. And that becomes our N. So we go ahead and press the N button. Now we are paying 10% per year interest, but that's not what we're paying monthly. So we're going to go ahead and take our 10% interest, and we're going to divide it by 12, which is the number of months per year, to get a monthly interest rate. And that monthly interest rate is 0.8333. Okay? And we're just going to, now that we've got that number on a register, we just go up here and we hit I/Y. And that tells us that's actually interest rate per period. And that's good enough. And we've already put in our $150,000. Well, I can't remember if we did that, so let's go ahead and do it. We're going to buy a $150,000 house, which means we want the bank to give us $150,000 right now. There we go. And don't forget to make that a negative before we put that in as our PV right here, PV. We've got everything in. The question is, what is our monthly payment? And we hit compute and the payment button, and we end up with $1,316 and some cents. The problem with that is that over 30 years times 12 payments per year, we're going to make 360 payments like that. So let's see how much we're actually paying for that $150,000 house. The answer is we take our payment, which is already on our register, and we times it times 360 just to get a feel for things. Yep. $473,000. So if you can pay your mortgage off quicker, you should do that, because otherwise your $150,000 house will have actually cost you $473,000 by the time you've paid interest over time. All right, and that is how you figure out a mortgage.